All right, hello, it's Monday afternoon. It's Acoustic Paradiso here on Andertons TV. I am Ben, and today I've got these Cloe Clark guitars. You might not be that familiar with Cloe Clark guitars, because I certainly wasn't until this week, but they are Australian made of Australian woods, which is why they look a lot different to most guitars, which is great. And the design behind them is also a lot different, because these are designed as guitars for the performing musician who wants to go and plug in and sound really good. That's the whole aesthetic behind it. So I'm going to talk about the woods and the construction a bit later, but we're going to start talking about the pickup, because the way this guitar was designed, they basically designed the best sounding pickup they could, and then built a guitar around it that was designed to really to work with the pickup, to allow you to get high kind of stage volumes and still be able to sound like an acoustic guitar, rather than that kind of piezo pickup sound that we all know. So we'll talk about the pickups. First of all, it's made of three different elements, which are all optimized to kind of pick up their own frequency ranges that they sound best in. So that underneath the saddle here, we've got 6 piezo elements. I think they're spring-loaded. So, and that takes care of the low end of your sound. On one of the braces, which I think is up here somewhere, there's a body sensor. So that's for the face. That takes care of everything above 350 hertz. And there's a microphone that takes care of everything above 2.5K, I think. And the idea is that using 3 elements to pick up different frequency ranges will give you the most natural acoustic guitar sound when you're plugged into something like a PA, which is what I'm plugged into at the moment. And that's what I'm hearing in the room. I think you're hearing the DI signal, but I'm hearing it through this PA because that's what it's designed for. And this PA is a Fishman SA330X, which is currently on an epic deal with, I think, over £1,000 off. It was 1887 and now it's down to 899. So not nearly £1,000 off. But it's a killer thing. And that's for the top box, the sub, the pole. I think it comes with an extra stand as well. So it's a bargain. But it's a great sounding little PA system, perfect for kind of acoustic gigs. And yeah, so this is it. So I'm going to start here. First of all, I'll turn the microphone off and the phase sensor, and this is what the piezo sounds like on its own. So yeah, that's the piezo. This is the really clever part though, because as you dial in the phase sensor on this kind of blend knob at the top, what it does is it starts to the more you increase the level of the phase sensor, the lower the level of the piezo at those frequencies the phase sensor is tuned to will be in the mix. So if I turn it up to around about 2 o'clock on the front here, so now I can pick up all of the kind of percussive and the body noises, and you bring in the mid-range with the phase sensor, so it sounds like this. And what I'll do is I'll strum a chord and fade it in so you can hear what it's doing. So it's already sounding a lot more natural than just the piezo on its own. And the microphone does the same thing, except it's everything above 2.5K gets kind of replaced with the microphone signal instead of the piezo signal. So again, I'll strum a chord, blend in that microphone. So that's pretty convincing. I'm impressed. Yeah, it's a very natural sounding guitar through the PA system, particularly. If I dime the mic so it's full up, and I'll turn the phase sensor all the way up as well, just so you can see what that sounds like and what it does to the sound. So yeah, it's a really impressive pickup system. And as I said, the guitar was designed to work with the pickup system. So there's a few things that are slightly unusual for steel string guitar construction. This is the only steel string that I'm aware of, certainly in kind of mass production, that's made with a Spanish heel joint rather than your traditional kind of tenon or dovetail joint. The Spanish heel is, the clue's in the name, it's the same kind of construction that's used on traditional Spanish nylon string classical guitars. And it differs from traditional steel string construction. Normally with a steel string, they'll make a box, make a neck, stick them together, and that's how that works. With Spanish heel, the neck is made with the heel, the top is then attached to the neck, and then the sides and the back are attached to that. So there are slots in the side of the neck. So it's a different way of constructing it. And the bracing is also different on this guitar. It's got A brace and a V brace. And the idea behind that is to control the kind of resonance of the guitar to help eliminate feedback. And also the braces run all the way into the neck. So if I turn the face sensor all the way up, all that kind of finger noise and all the knocking that you can hear on the neck is there because the brace with the sensor attached is actually connected to the neck inside, I believe, or certainly comes very close to it. There's no kerfing, so it's carved tops, and it's got kind of a different way of attaching the top and the back to the sides. So it's really tuned for performing, and the most famous kind of endorsees of these guitars are Jack Johnson and Ben Harper. They play big shows and they use them a lot. So there we go. That in a nutshell is the Cloe Clark kind of ethos. It's a guitar to be plugged in and to play kind of loud live gigs with. They've just come out the case. They're really well set up and super comfortable to play. I guess I don't know how you describe the neck. It's not fat, it's not thin. It's a comfortable neck. So the woods, I mentioned them earlier, but it's probably time to talk about them. They're all made with Australian sustainable woods. So that means that they use different woods to your traditional American guitars, but they're different. They're not better or worse, I don't think. So this is the Fat Lady 1E BM, and the BM stands for bunya, which is what this wood is on the top, and maple back and sides. But it's a Queensland maple, which is no relation to European or American maples. It's actually closer to mahogany, kind of in terms of its genetic profile, I suppose. And the bunya is, it's kind of the Cloe Clark equivalent to spruce, Australian spruce. It doesn't sound exactly like spruce, but it reacts the same kind of way. So it's good fun. Let me just turn these. I mean, these guitars are designed to be plugged in and played electrically. But if I turn the volume down, you can just hear it through this microphone here. So it's acoustically, it's really well balanced. It's not as loud as I would expect a guitar this size to be, but that's on purpose. I think that's part of the design and the construction, so that it works on a loud stage without feedback. Brilliant. So there we go. That's the first one. I'll show you some of these other ones, shall I? Okay, so next up we have this, which is $12.49. Same spec as the last one. This is the FL1ECBM. So again, it's a bunya top and the Queensland maple back and sides. You can see that there is a huge kind of variation in the wood grain on all these guitars, which is, I mean, they're all very pretty lumps of wood. I really like the grain in the bridge on this one. But yeah, so because they look so different, all of the ones that are photographed on the website, we're photographing each individual guitar. So when you pick one, it will be the one that you see the photos of because they're so different, which is great. So anyway, this is the same spec as the last one, except it's got a cutaway, so you can go up and do these, get up to the dusty end if you really need to. So this is just for kind of. This is where I found the best setting on these pickups has been. Generally, you start around 2 o'clock on the bridge and face blend control, around about 2 o'clock on the mic control, volume to taste. And I forgot to mention it's got treble, middle and bass. So, and that's cut and boost as usual. So here we go. So this is the cutaway version of the Fat Lady 1. Just because I can get up there, I probably should. It plays really nicely. You know, could easily do a couple of hours playing a gig on this if you were allowed to play gigs at the moment. So there we go. That's that one. Before I move on to the next one, I should probably play it unplugged so you can hear the acoustic sound. So here we go. So there we go. Again, it's a lot quieter than I would expect, but it's, yeah, again, not really designed for it. I think one thing people have been using it for, these kind of guitars for, during lockdown and things, is just plugging straight into a DAW for live streaming and whatnot, because it does make that kind of thing really easy. The last couple of guitars we looked at come with this pretty substantial gig bag. Calling it a soft case doesn't really do it justice. It's great. It's padded. You know, it's a good case. They have an optional pick guard as well, which is in the case you can stick it on yourself if you want to. Moving on to the next one in the line. This is the Fat Lady 2 series. It has the bunya top, but the back and sides on this are Australian Blackwood. It's not black, but it is apparently it's kind of similar to Koa. It's the toughest of all the woods that they use, and the Blackwood stuff apparently is really suited to kind of heavy gigging in hot environments and things. And there is an all Blackwood model that we'll come to in a second. Pickup is in the same position settings as they were before. It's got the same Grover tuners on all these. They're really nice. I'll play something on this one, see what you think. So yeah, it's it's good. The feel, as I would say, is a bit stiffer, which I think is probably down to the Blackwood on the back and sides. Let me kill the PA for a second so you can hear what it sounds like through this microphone. So there you go. Again, like the other two models, quieter than you would think for a Dreadnought, but sounds killer plugged in, which is what it's made for. So the retail on this one is $16.49. Everything from kind of this one up in terms of price comes with a hard case, which I will grab and show you. So this is the Cloe Clark hard case. It's a hard case. It's great, you know. If you want a hard case for your Cloe Clark guitar, this is probably the best one to have. Brilliant. Okay. All right, so this is the custom standard Fat Lady 2, I think, the custom standard 2. But this is the full Blackwood model. So it's Blackwood top, Blackwood back and sides. And it is really built for your harder player. So if you want to stand on stage and smack 7 bells out of it every night and strum, it's going to work really wonderfully for that and stand up to it. That's not to say it doesn't work as a finger pick, because it does work as that too, but the wood combination on this, the Blackwood, is just double tough. So yeah, same Grover tuners, except these ones are gold. It's got these different shaped inlays on the neck, the kind of diamond inlays. But it's again, it's a beautiful finish on these. These are all nitrocellulose lacquer, very thin finish on them, so that to kind of allow the guitar to breathe a bit, I guess. So there's the back, the 3-piece back on all these, which I don't think I've mentioned, which I should have done. Yeah, so that's it. That's the full Blackwood model. This one retails at $18.29. Comes with a hard case with a pick guard in the case, should you want it. And the same pickup system, which is growing on me with every guitar I plug in with it in. So let me just mute the PA so you can hear what it sounds like just on its own. Here we go. So yeah, it is unusual. It is weird. It takes a bit getting used to playing a guitar this size unplugged that is as acoustically quiet as this one. I know I keep mentioning it after every guitar, and it's not a problem because they're designed to be plugged in, but it does just it takes me by surprise. I always expect a Dreadnought to be a huge sounding instrument, which it is plugged in. But yeah. Anyway, on to the next one, which is the highest end of the Fat Lady series that we have. Let me just unplug this. So last but by no means least, this is the Fat Lady Custom Standard 2, obviously with a cutaway. The wood, which is pretty spectacular on the top of this, is actually old growth Californian redwood sequoia that was planted kind of 150 years ago in Australia. So it's old trees. Of American wood, but grown in Australia. It's really striking, and the inlay work around these on the edge is beautiful as well. I think it looks like a Blackwood inlay on there, and I think it's I think on the other one it might be a maple inlay. I'm not sure, but it's really nicely done. It's got this beautiful bridge, which I think is oak on it. The grain on the fingerboard, again, I'm not sure of the wood on that, but it's kitted out really nicely, and I think the Californian redwood is most similar in terms of response to kind of your traditional cedar top. So whereas your Bunya is more like the spruce and the Blackwood is more like Koa, this is the kind of softer of the three. Works really nicely for fingerpicking, And so that's what I will do with it. It comes with a hard case. It looks great. Before I play us out, all of the links for these guitars are down below as ever. Do check them out because, as I said, each one of these is going to be individually photographed. So if you're looking at one to buy on the website, the one that you look at will actually be the one that you can get. There are left-handed versions available. We don't have any in stock, but they're available to order. So I know that the lefties among you will be pleased with that. There we go. It's, as I say, it's a different guitar, but for a performing instrument, it's great, and I really like this pickup system. So there we go, Cloe Clark Fat Lady series. There's more videos coming soon on the Angel and the Little Lady guitars, which are the different models. But the pickup system is the same in all of them. It's just body sizes and woods that changes. So there we go. If you're looking for a guitar to go out and play lots of gigs with when we're allowed, you could do a lot worse than checking out Cloe Clark. See you next time. All right.